Hey guys, Waddler-D here. This is another installment of Smash Brothers for Wii U. We're going to talk about Falcon today, because Falcon is the man. There's not much I can say about this guy other than he's one of the most iconic characters in this entire series, and probably should owe a lot to it considering the popularity he's gained from it. Now, the thing about Falcon is that he is pretty much a pure speed rushdown character with power and some weight attached to it. So he is pretty much gonna be a brawler for sure. However, the bad news is that Falcon has some pretty crappy recovery. He's always had it. And his approaches are going to be somewhat predictable, partially due to the fact that he has absolutely no projectiles whatsoever, but that's how Falcon works. He's supposed to be a rushdown, beat the crap out of you character, and he has a lot of juggling potential and definitely a ton of KO power to go along with it, so he's definitely your go-to guy if you want something that's well-balanced in terms of up-close and personal ass-kicking, because he definitely has all those statistics. Now, the thing that was about Captain Falcon is that he was a pretty shitty character in Brawl, no joke. Like, he was ridiculously... It just was not a good day or game for Falcon, because, for one thing, his priority just seemed to suck ass in that game. And thanks to the floaty physics of Brawl, Falcon didn't really have all what it takes. But now that he has a little bit more faster mechanics behind him, and the fact that this game is far away from Brawl's physics, Falcon can actually let loose a little bit more, and he can definitely do a lot more damage, as well as some new tricks that he has up his sleeve, or at least some property changes that to some of his moves that might actually make them a lot better than they were before. Now, the moves that you want to use with Falcon primarily is that you want to definitely jab with Falcon. You want to use that neutral attack, because if you don't use the standard jabs with Falcon, you're not going to do very well, because Falcon needs those jabs to be really effective, because one thing that I will be talking about later is that you're going to be doing some jab delays with him, because jab delays are definitely a good way to be a bit of an unpredictable player. Now, you also want to do grabs with Falcon, that's a given, because he is so damn fast, and his grab usually has some pretty quick recovery time attached to it, so he can get away with some whiffed grabs here and there, and he is definitely gonna excel off of that, mainly due to the fact that his down throw has a great follow-up option. You can either follow it up with a neutral air or a up air, and sometimes you might be able to land that forward air that you might need to kill an opponent. Also, you have the forward throw, which is pretty good for setting up off-stage tactics, generally with the down air or basically maybe throwing out of random back airs. Now, the thing that you should definitely also know about Falcon is that since his character's name is Falcon, his aerials are going to probably be his best moves. I mean, for one thing, the forward air is easily one of Falcon's most strongest attacks, because he will literally be able to KO Charizard from the center of Final Destination around 80 to 100%. That's freaking crazy. So you want to definitely make good use of that, but you don't want to keep throwing it out, because if you whiff with the forward air, you're not going to get much going for it, because for one thing, it's a laggy move. And that's one thing you really need to know about with Falcon, laggy moves. That's why you want to save some of his moves mainly for KOs. Those moves being his forward smash, all his smash attacks. I mean, all of his smash attacks have a lot of KO power behind it, but they do have some serious lag time. So if you miss, be prepared to take a hit. And if things aren't going well for you in the smash category, you can always resort to the back throw. Falcon's back throw is now able to KO people at a reasonable percentage. It's going to be kind of one of those last resort KOs, though, because it takes a while, but you can rely on it. Like, say, for instance, if you grab somebody and your back's turned to the off-stage area and you're close to the edge, you're going to probably KO them at a pretty reasonable percentage. Otherwise, you're probably going to be around the high low 200% before that actually happens from the center. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is his Raptor boost is one of his best moves now in terms of KOing people. This move can actually now reliably KO at 100%. It is that good now. Problem is that it's still with the same properties of being laggy if it whips, and it definitely comes out somewhat predictably, but it usually is a nice little move to throw out. Another move that you might not think of to be such a contender to knocking people off, or at least to oblivion, is the up tilt. The up tilt is Falcon's new trump card, because this is a very scary edge guarding tactic. All Falcon has to do is park his ass on one of the edges and just keep throwing them out, and if he hits somebody with it, they're plummeting down to oblivion. That's how basically the up tilt works with Falcon now. Granted, you can still use it on stage, and it's still a very good kind of spacing tactic, but it's of course gonna kind of lose the stronger attacks. But other than that, Falcon definitely has some really good moves. And I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of his down air. That's a great meteor smash. Definitely want to use that all the time, because that's one of Falcon's primary ways of KOing people, along with the forward air or any of his smash attacks. But you definitely want to seal that deal with that frickin' meteor smash, because it's just so damn good. Now, if you're having trouble getting good with Falcon, one thing I would suggest you maybe not do too much of is the Falcon Punch. While it's a great move and it's fun as hell to land, it is really impractical. I mean, it's pretty much along the lines of a shield break punish, or basically a really hard read that you have a feeling it's going to work. Like if somebody's doing a certain particular move a lot and it's laggy as hell, Falcon should be there to greet it with the Falcon Punch and end that match, because there's nothing more satisfying than ending a Falcon or match with a Falcon Punch and ending somebody that way. So definitely consider that option. Now, with other ways to improve with Falcon, and definitely something you should consider, is what I was talking about earlier, the jab delays. Jab delays are when you start throwing out your standard attacks, and if your character has a move set, or like a standard attack set that involves them throwing out like a 3-punch combo, you can basically use 2 punches and then switch it up a little bit. Either you can go to a grab, or in Falcon's case, you can go to a down tilt as well, because that has some great setup for off-stage tactics. Or you could do Raptor Boost. And last but not least, you could do possibly a down smash, but that's not exactly recommended. But at very least, if somebody's thinking, oh, I can roll behind him while Falcon's jabbing, nope, you get a kick in the face. That's pretty much how Falcon's jab tilt setups work, releases follow-ups. Now, one thing you definitely want to know what to do is you want to figure out how to use Falcon's dashing ability to your advantage, because Falcon has some great speed, but you can't just be really predictable with them. So what I would definitely suggest doing is the reverse aerial rush, which is basically running towards an opponent, turning around mid with a pivot by just going in the other direction for a split second, and then jumping. Falcon will turn around and then be able to use one of his stronger and definitely faster aerials, which is his back air, as you saw right there. And you definitely want to have that move at the ready, because that's going to be one of your other KO moves to go to, because it hits hard, it KOs reliably around 100%, and it can work out in a good jam. Now you also want to shield cancel, which is basically dashing towards an opponent and putting it up, and that'll allow you to possibly set up grabs basically and punishing them. Now you also want to approach with the neutral air, which is Falcon's kind of a X factor in a way, because Falcon's neutral air definitely has some nice properties to it. Like if you land it, you're actually going to recover a little bit quicker than most of his other aerials, because I don't know why, but for some reason Falcon usually is able to throw out that neutral air and then just throw out a couple jabs afterwards. So it's really good to set that up. Now, you definitely want to be unpredictable with Falcon, because Falcon definitely can't be predictable. Usually some players like to just dash attack with Falcon, and that honestly is never really going to work if you keep doing it again and again. It's in fact that's basically going to be asking for punishment. So be very careful with that. But at the same time, just try to play mind games on the opponent. Kind of trick them up, go a little slow, switch the speed around, and you're going to start seeing that the people are going to not know what to expect from you. And that's what's dangerous about Falcon. If you can just kind of just switch your aggressiveness to defensiveness, it's going to be over. Now, that's pretty much all I have to really say about Falcon, but I'm still not totally done. There's 3 more things you should definitely consider doing. You should save your Raptor boosts, use your Falcon kicks or your dash attacks instead, and definitely practice your short hop up airs. Those are going to definitely do well for you. I know I'm running a little bit over the time limit, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little how to play video with Captain Falcon. And I definitely hope that you consider using the big guy, because he's definitely a lot better in this game, and nothing like his Brawl counterpart. In fact, it's pretty much Falcon getting back to melee standards, which is very, very nice. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned a little bit, and I'm going to definitely talk about Mega Man next time, because he's definitely a very interesting character that has a very, very weird playstyle, but it's very fun and quite engaging. So thanks for watching. Adios.